Welcome to all the mini enthusiasts, classic car enthusiasts. I put a little video up last night and I was talking about this M machine, and I got a comment from a guy, Simon, and he's telling me now, which sounds a bit disconcerting, is that a lot of the panels that these guys are doing are from Magnum, whether that's true or not. I mean, maybe he's had a bad experience. And this Andy Taylor got some stuff that was good, but apparently they do have some Magnum parts. So when I go to the UK, I'm going to go when the engines are done, which will be 2 or 3 months at least, to check them out before I bring them back. And I think I'll go to this place in Darlington and check them out and see exactly what the situation is. But so, you know, don't take I haven't seen these panels, physically seen them. This Simon's telling me you'll see it on the comment. He's telling me basically that the step that they do here is a Magnum one, which is, what's the point in going it from somewhere else? You might as well get it from Mini Spares. But I will go and check it out and see what their other stuff is, and if they're manufacturing it. If they're just a retailer for Magnum, then obviously it's not even worth worrying about. So, don't take my word for it. You need to check it out yourself. I haven't seen the panels. Until I physically see what they're producing, then I can't comment. It was just somebody gave me this tip. It might work out that the panels are really good, or it might be that they're just selling somebody else's, who knows. Anyway, I've done some work to the Mini. I've got the inner sill on. I've started to put the side step on and the back of the rear quarter panel, and I'll let you see what I've done. I've worked about 6 hours today just getting some stuff sorted out. Anyway, so I'll show you on the video on the what I've been up to. So I'm going to call it a night now. I'm getting a bit fed up. So, oh, bloody cables. So you can see there. Oh, this was a little thing. These are actually little. These things come on brake pipe kits, and they're for going over the unions to stop the union getting damaged. And I think this would be a really good idea. I've got a lot of them from a kit that I bought, and basically they're just a push-on cover. It actually goes over the male end, but they fit perfect. You have to jiggle them around a little bit, but you can see they fit perfect. And this is a bad area for rust in here when it's all finished. Obviously, when you've done it, you don't want to have the door on when you're putting the stone chip on, or you're going to screw up this thread. And these hinges are particularly weak. You can feel them when you tighten. You can't over tighten them. But I think that would be a really good seal. You can see how tight that is and against there. I suppose you could even put a little bit of grease in there, as long as it wasn't too much. I did try to compress it. But I think that's a good way of saving those hinges, because you have to take the door off. Normally what happens with these things is they snap, but they do go on. They're just a bit fiddly. I've tried a few other ones, but they don't fit. These are ones off a brake nipple, but unfortunately they're too small. But they seem to fit quite well. So there's a little tip there: when you get finished, just protect the door hinge threads. Or I suppose the other thing you could do is put a double nut on there and then cut the thread off. Or maybe put some grease over them or something. You definitely need to put something on, because the water coming up here is unbelievable. Anyway, so as you can see, the inner sill's on. I've got the outer sill, and it's just clipped into place at the moment. As you can see, the bracket is still there for the jacking point. It'll never be used, but I want it original. So I'll just quickly take this off so you can see what I'm up to. I'll take this one off the end, so the panel will fall. There we go. Anyway, so you can see I've got that all in place now. And this is that Magnum panel we were talking about. I've started to just weld it there. And even there you can see that edging's shit. It really is quite bad on the end. I'll have to straighten all that up with a dolly and a hammer and go all the way around it. But it's not looking too bad. There's a little bit of a gap there, so what I'm intending to do, the door shuts nice, what I'm intending to do is I fitted this right into the corner. You can see I haven't even touched the welds yet. So I took the inside piece off and then I put this in, because obviously if you don't, you can't push it up far enough, and you can see it lines up perfect there, and it also lines up perfect there, but it didn't line up in this crease. So what I'll do is I'll weld all this in, I'll clean this back, and then I'll lead load this, because this is just not quite right, and the lead will hold really well. Obviously you try to put filler in there, it'll just crack, the door being open and shut. This is where lead comes into its own, and I'll show you how that looks in a few days. Again, this panel, it's not so bad on this one. It actually comes up fairly high, but there's still a low point there. You can see it's just gone inside, so I will have to just lift it up a little bit, because like I said before, sorry about the light, these panels are made for plonking in inside. So obviously if they were inside, you've got the depth of the metal, which would raise them up and bring them up in line with a step. So, you know, something to be aware of. So, but yeah, I'm a bit disappointed. The other one fitted perfect there and perfect at the front, but it's wrong here. Anyway, I'll get it all welded in, and then I'll once I do the lead load, I'll let you see it. And honestly, you will not believe, when that's lead loaded, you will think it's one piece. It's amazing what you can do with the lead. And as I say, with Bondo, as the Americans call it, or filler, it would just crack, you know, because you're opening and shutting the door. That's the problem with these things. Anywhere where it can flex, you're going to have problems. With lead, you're not going to have that issue. And yeah, it's fairly flush there. That's going to be quite nice when it's done. And yeah, that's it for tonight. I think I've had enough for tonight. But you can see the big difference between this Magnum panel. You can see this. This is basically just a primer for transit. We call it a transit primer. You can see how dull that is. Obviously, that has to be wire-wooled before I can paint over it. But then when you look at that, and you look at this is a heritage panel. As you can see there. You see the difference on that. You still have to scratch this up, but the thickness of the paint and the way it's made is far superior. And again, just as a little reference, I remember I was talking to you about that. Hopefully, I'm going to show with that light behind my back. Just a second. I'll see if I can get out of the way. You can see there, I put that in the middle, right on the edge, and now you can see I'm talking about now with this, how it's got a very slight curve to it. You see that? See how it's further away at each end, and in the middle it's right on the money. And there is a slight curve to these cars. People don't realise it, but there is. Anyway, so that's it for tonight. I'll see how I get on tomorrow. And but that's not a bad little idea, I think, if you like that. I can't see water getting trapped in there. I mean, you know, you could put silicone over them or grease, but eventually it'll come off, or it'll get hot, or it'll get washed off, or whatever. I think that's a quite nice little alternative. And they come when you buy brake kits, or if you buy pre-made brakes, pre-made brake unions, which I don't like because they never fit right. I make up my own. I have a tool, which I think you've probably seen. Anyway, so that's it for tonight. I'm going to call it a night, and I'll maybe catch you tomorrow with another video. But please beware about this M machine thing. You know, I don't want to go telling you that the stuff's great and I haven't seen it myself, which I did say yesterday. I mean, maybe, you know, this guy that wrote the comment got a bad thing off him, or he knows them better than this other chap, Andy Taylor, or maybe it's the other way around. I don't know. Anyway, I will let you know when I get some confirmation, but it's entirely up to you what bits you buy. I mean, I can't take responsibility for, you know, I can only tell you what I've used and what I've worked with. I mean, these heritage inner wings, for instance, are brilliant. They actually sit right on, and what I've decided now is, even if I can't buy the piece I need, and I have to buy a bigger piece that I don't need the other part with it, I'm buying heritage, and I'll cut it off if I have to. So anyway, thanks for watching in. Take care, and bye for now. Bye.